guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about 8 places you probably never thought you could retire to. We are looking at this from our budget point, which is $4,000 a month. And we're going to go through this list for you. And I have a very strong feeling that very few people are going to know about the last one. When we get there, make sure you let me know in the comments if you know what that last one was. So what are we going to start out with here?
Yeah, I'll be shocked if they've heard of that one.
I know.
But it is amazing. So we're going to start out with Europe, which is someplace that people don't often think they can retire to. And we're going to be looking at this for you in an easy manner. We're going to use Airbnb to kind of showcase how you can stay within that $4,000 per month budget. And the rule of thumb is if you can rent something on Airbnb and stay under that budget, you can also buy something. So we don't really want to limit ourselves to buying a place and staying in that city full time. So we like to go to different places. So that's kind of the criteria we're using. But we're going to pop this up here and just type in Italy here into Airbnb. And then what you need to do is type in check-in dates, click the flexible box, and then we're going to click for an entire month. And then we're looking at actually doing this later in the year, or next year. So we're going to hit all these boxes up through March and April. And then we're going to pick just for 2 of us and hit search. And it's going to come up with thousands of places. And you can see here, these top ones it comes up with are $3,000 a month. That's not going to work. So we got to go to the filters up here, and we're just going to draw this slider down. We only want to see stuff. To stay in our $4,000 budget, we need to be under $1,500 a month. So we're going to do that. And we want the entire home. We don't want to be, sharing. So we're going to do that. And then the next thing is we're also going to put guest favorites. We want something awesome, something other people have loved. Now you'll see down here, it still shows you there's over 1,000 properties available. That's the most it can show you. So that means our budget is still pretty high. So we're going to even bring it down a little more. Let's make it $1,290. It's still at over 1,000, but let's hit it. See what kind of stuff pops up. And you can already see that there are quite a few amazing properties available. And it's going to show you properties all over Italy. And so we can just come over here on the map and zoom in a little bit. Let's look down here at Sicily maybe and see what kind of stuff is going to pop up there. We love this area of Italy, and it's just a place that we've really enjoyed going, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually loved Sicily. It's such a cool place, and it's unique because yes, it's Italy and it's a part of the country, but it's very different from the mainland, which I think is so unique.
Yeah, so I'm going to drop it down even further to $1,000 because you can just see there's tons of places. This is something that can easily be done. We've done it. We stayed for a month in a place in Italy for I think it was about $750 a month in Monopoly, and we had a lovely time.
We certainly did. We loved our time in Italy, and there are so many great Airbnbs offered on there that I think it's definitely a good way to go because you're not always going to find, hotels in some of the smaller little, villages and towns, especially as you get further south into Italy, away from the, highly visited areas like, your Rome and Florence and those places, even Naples. You get further down south from there and into, Sicily, and you're starting to get into some places where it's going to be a little bit harder to find the space that we're looking for most of the time.
Exactly. Now, the second place that we're going to look at is going to be the south of France. Now, this is something that we have always kind of dreamed of going to. You always hear south of France, so beautiful, expensive, but let's just look at what we've got here. We're going to put in Toulouse because that is in the south of France, and it's a city we've been to, and we loved it. So we're just going to see if we could stay there for a month. Now, we're going to have to reset our filter here because I've got it Italy is very inexpensive. Toulouse will not be quite as expensive. Although even at the $1,000 one here, I am seeing some pretty nice places. So I'm seeing, $1,823. But I think for Toulouse, we're going to make it a little bit higher. So you just go back to your filters and we'll put it back at about $1,500. So you can see there's going to be 239 choices. So that's pretty amazing. One of these will definitely work. Some of these look really, really amazing, and tons of places. We just loved our time in Toulouse.
We did. We had such a fun time there. It was such a unique little town too, or city, not really a town, but we got to walk around there, and we actually arrived there super early and could smell all the bakeries. From when we walked out from the train station, the first thing that hits you is you get punched in the face by the smell of the freshly baked items in the bakeries there, and that was amazing.
Yeah, so I want to point this one out here. This is in Toulouse City Center, balcony and parking. We probably wouldn't get a car, but if you need parking, $975, which is great. This is going to be from November 1st to December 1st for 2 people. What's really important here is that this is hosted by a superhost, hosted by Desi. They're a superhost. You can see that right here. Been hosting for 1 year. 4.95 rating. That is really high. The superhost is important though, because when you rent with a superhost, they will not cancel your reservation on you, and because if they do, they're going to lose their superhost status. If you rent from someone that is not a superhost and you get a great deal, you might get a month before you're supposed to go, and they'll just cancel it because someone else has said they'll pay more. So always rent with a superhost if you are looking for great deals like this, because it's really the only safe way to go. So now we're going to move on to the second category, which is going to be the beach. And I know a lot of people think, oh, you can't retire to the beach for $4,000.
No.
We're going to show you where you can and talk about probably your favorite country and where we're going to go there.
That's right. We're going to Thailand, and we're going to go to Hua Hin. And this is actually a new kind of up-and-coming community for people who are for expats and digital nomads. It's becoming a little bit, it's up and coming, and there are a lot of options there, but the options are growing because they are seeing a lot more, foreigners coming into Hua Hin.
Yeah, and we're looking at a place in specific here called La Casita, and it's a kind of a big apartment complex there. We've been looking at that, going there actually for ourselves. I'm pretty sure this is it right here. Just by the pool, I can tell. That's the giveaway. It has this beautiful pool and all this great architecture. And you can see here $671 a month. This is for November. And yeah, it's amazing. So you'll find tons of places in Thailand like this where you're just going to get this type of place.
Yeah, they also have, as you'll note, the monthly stay discount, which is quite generous, I think.
Yeah, $316 off.
Yeah.
And notice those cleaning fees in Thailand, $20. That's not much. So to get the month discount, you do need to stay at least 28 nights. We usually stay 30 because that's just an easy way to do it. And you got free cancellation on this one until October 2nd, and it's a superhost. So it's perfect. Like, why would you not get this? It's going to be amazing, and I think we're going to actually start looking at something like that.
Yeah. Be careful not to book it by mistake.
Yeah, I might
we'll
book
end
it.
up there.
I might book it off camera right now. I might do it on camera. So next place is going to be in Vietnam. We're looking at an intercontinental there because we did go ahead and get status on basically all the hotel chains this year. So we're going to use that next year. You can be living in Vietnam. This is going to be retiring to a hotel. We're not going to do this for 10 years, but you can do it for 3 months, 6 months. We've been in a hotel now for a little over 100 days, and it's been going pretty well. So there's so many advantages to a high-end hotel like the Intercontinental, though, right?
Absolutely. They have, especially once you have status, you've got your lounge access. That's going to provide you with quite a bit of free food. You'll get breakfast, you'll get the afternoon tea, which ends up being kind of like a small lunch. And then also you get cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, which are actually, they usually serve full meals, especially in some place like Vietnam. We've been to the lounges there before and have been absolutely blown away. They basically set up a buffet. And also all of your drinks are included: soft drinks, alcoholic beverages, juices, everything. So there's a lot included with this.
Yeah, and so this costs about 18,000 IHG points per night. You always want to book these with points. And 18,000 IHG points will cost you $90 if you buy them in one of their sales. They do go on sale every couple months, and so whenever they do, we try to buy as many as they will allow. So you come out to about $2,700 a month if you're doing that for 30 days. But that includes all of your housing, basically all of your meals, all of your bills. There's no, water bill, electric bill, internet bill. $2,700 a month, you're basically out the door, other than if you have health insurance and a cell phone plan. So you're pretty easily staying under that $4,000 a month, and you're living at a top flight hotel on the beach in Vietnam.
Yeah,
so.
Not to mention, you'll have great services. You'll have housekeeping. The staff there will treat you amazingly. So you really can't go wrong.
Next place at the beach is going to be Bali, Indonesia, and we are looking there at the Grand Hyatt, which will cost us 6,500 Hyatt points per night, which is actually pretty cheap. And we're going to use our status with our suite night upgrades to upgrade to a suite, which is going to be even more amazing because they also have a club lounge there.
That's right. Again, your meals are going to be included there. This resort is gorgeous, and as we mentioned before, the staff, the service is going to be like phenomenal, over the top, almost comical. It's so good. The first time we experienced, we were like, are they joking? No, they're being serious. They'll, memorize your name from day one, address you every time they see you, and they will take incredible, incredible care of you.
Yeah. So moving on to the next category where you might not have thought you could retire, and that is a cruise ship. Now, people have been doing this for a long time, and recently it's been kind of getting more publicity. We did try our hand at this last year, and we tried it for about 6 to 8 weeks, and we liked it. We wouldn't want to do it for much longer than that, but we want to do 6 to 8 week stints on a cruise ship and just booking them back to back to back to back to back. What did you think of it?
It was fun. It was a little different than what we were expecting. I mean, there obviously, you got your pros and cons, and obviously you have to like cruising to even consider it. But it really worked out pretty good for us. We did kind of go all over the place on cruise ship. So, did some transoceanic crossings, and I think the cool part about doing this particular thing is that you only unpack, when you get on the ship, you unpack, and then they take you to all the places. Get off, get back on, your meals are taken care of, your room is taken care of. It's really pretty great, a little idea.
Yeah, so we target repositioning cruises that cost, roughly $1,500 to $2,000 for 2 weeks. That kind of keeps you in that $4,000 a month budget. And they're not difficult to find. The difficult thing is to line them up to where you're not having a bunch of days where you're not on it. We were able to do it last year where we did it and we never spent a day in a hotel. We just went cruise, cruise, cruise. And they were all different ships. So that was pretty cool. Next category is going to be retiring to a castle. And this is something people don't know you can do, but it's also pretty cool. You're going to have to go to Europe for this. Somewhat obviously. So we're going to type in Europe here and see what we've got. But we're just going to do flexible dates and again do the month and hit search. But then at the top up here you'll see all these little designations. Just click castles. And those are going to all come up. Now, those are some amazing castles right there. But you can see those are $37,000 a month. So we got to go to the filters because we do not want to pay that.
That's your whole budget. You won't be able to eat or anything.
That's the year. You're going to be in tent for the rest of the month. So let's do 1900. I think it'll be cheaper. But look at these places. This is a place to stay. I don't know how to say that. It's in France. I'm just going to click on it. Look at this place. Private room in a castle. You can do that for the month. And that's pretty amazing. There's so many others here too. This one's in Spain. What do you think? Would you do that?
These look incredible. Just beautiful. I mean, can you imagine just walking around? Oh, I'm just going to stay here on this castle.
Yeah.
Walking around the grounds. Really quite cool.
Yeah. So that is one. We've stayed in castles in Europe before. Mm-hmm. It's really fun.
It was really fun. Yeah.
And that's not the kind of thing I would do for 2 years or something. Although maybe if you got a really good one, but it's definitely something that I would try for a month or two because it'd just be a really cool feeling. Now this next one, this is the one that we're pretty sure maybe you've never heard of. So if you have heard of it, let us know. But this is retiring to a safari lodge in Africa, and we actually know of people who did this. They actually bought one of these houses. If you don't know, there is Kruger National Park in South Africa. There is a little community called Marley Park. And the houses all are right on the border of Kruger National Park. Now what happens is the animals don't know there's a border. So the safari animals from Kruger National Park walk through this neighborhood every day, and you end up with zebras and giraffes at your pool while you're swimming.
Yes. I think that one is probably the most unique, and I know that not very many people have thought of doing something like this before. So let's take a look at what this is going to cost. Is it going to be crazy?
It's going to be a little bit more, maybe, but maybe not. So yeah, we've got Marley Park here. And look at this. I'm just going to click on this first one, and you can see on these pictures that there are, like, you're sitting in your house and zebras are outside in your backyard looking at you. It's wild. This place is wild. And
literally.
It's so cool. Literally it is wild. Actually, you can get them here. It looks like you can get them for within the $4,000 a month budget. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. Look at this one. You're at your cottage, $1,300 a month. This would blow my mind.
Just drink your morning coffee with your friend, the giraffe.
Yeah, the giraffe is right outside your door. So, but you actually know, you have some friends that retired there. They actually bought one of these houses, so you can actually retire to this community. You can Airbnb it for a month or 2 or 6, and if you really loved it, you could buy one of the houses, and many people do.
Very easily. Like you said, there's an entire community of people there, and they absolutely love it. They live there for part of the year, and they rotate that with being back in the U.S. with family, but they do love living there, and they absolutely rave about being there.
Yeah, and then when you're not there, you come back to the U.S., you can rent your house out for a profit. So it's pretty amazing.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. There's so many options out there. That's kind of the point of this video, is that things maybe you haven't heard of. It's not just black and white anymore. It's not just buy a house on a golf course, spend 20 years there, never do anything else. These are options available, and they look pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point of this, is that there is a whole wide world out there, and there are tons and tons of options. You just have to, pick and choose, look at the map, zoom in on the map, pick something out, look at it. There's just so many places out there. We've stayed in places, I'm like, I've never heard of this place before, but here we are, and it is absolutely incredible. And I didn't know this was even a thing. So you just have to really do a little bit of research, dream big, and who knows, as you could see, a lot of these places you could stay well within that $4,000 a month, overall budget. If you wanted to, you could purchase a home in any of these places. A lot of these countries do also offer, special visas if you're purchasing property there as well.
Yeah, so this has been our look at unique places to retire. If you like this video, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and we'll see you on the next video.